And we are live. We are live. A quick boxing live stream on this fine Wednesday evening in the UK. Beautiful sunny weather. Really nice to see, man. Really nice to see. But yeah, just a quick boxing stream. Anything really goes, any topic. Even non-boxing topics are fine as well. Whatever comes up, comes up. You guys know how it works. No real set topics on these live streams, as you know. But yeah, we're going to talk some shit. We are going to talk some shit. Unrivaled boxing talk straight in here, man. Big up to Unrivaled. Hopefully you're doing well, Unrivaled. Hopefully you're doing well. We'll have to catch up at some point, have a little discussion. But yeah, big up to Unrivaled every single time. Carlos Mendoza in the house as well. Salute to Carlos. Big up to you, sir. This weekend, what's going on this weekend in the sport of boxing? Obviously, right now, everything seems to be falling through in regards to upcoming fights. It's crazy. It's like an abortion clinic right now. Everything's fucking falling through. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Let's have a look this weekend. So Sonny Edwards, he was supposed to fight. That's not fucking happening. Let's go on BoxRec. What's happening this weekend? Stephen Fulton versus Figueroa. That got cancelled as well. Figueroa's got COVID, apparently. I know that wasn't this weekend, but still very frustrating. So what's this weekend? We've got the return of Sam Eggington. He's fighting Belal Jikuti, whatever the fuck he is. That's going to be on Channel 5. Sam Eggington's always good fun to watch. Obviously, on Friday, we have Oscar Valdez versus Robson Conciao. Junto Nakatani versus Angel Acosta. Really good fight at flyweight. I think Nakatani will grind down Acosta late, but that's a good fight. Really good fight, in fact. That's fight of the weekend as far as I'm concerned. What do we have on Saturday? Let's have a look. Carmen Leharaga on Saturday, not interested. Yeah, it's a pretty shit weekend of fights, man. Apart from Friday with the Oscar Valdez card. Bit disappointing. But yeah, big up to Paul 123 in the house. Felipe as well. Big up to Felipe. Scotland, Taylor versus Catterall. I'm going. That atmosphere is going to be great. It's going to be great. England versus Scotland. That's going to be fucking partisan, that atmosphere. That's going to be really good. That's December, I believe, right? Oh, yeah, we got TRT Vitor versus Evander Holyfield. Indeed we do. Donald Trump's commentating. Can you believe it? Oh, that's it, yeah. Kudryashov versus Tishchenko. That's a great fight. Every Kudryashov fight's going to be fucking great. Yeah, that's it. Abdullahev's fighting on the same card. He's fighting Zlatan Kishinin, whatever his name is. You know, the guy who Mikey Garcia knocked out cold. Okay, so Belal is a come-forward pressure fighter. If Eggington underestimates him, then he could get done with his vulnerabilities. Alexander Vesputin fights this weekend also, yeah. Vesputin, of course, coming off a drug failure. He's on the comeback trail, so we'll see where he goes. But yeah, there's a couple of bits to look forward to this weekend. There's a couple of bits. Even on that Triller card, you have John O'Carroll versus Andy Vences. That's a good fight. That's a pretty good fight. Yeah, the Edwards card is now off, yeah. Sonny got an ankle injury a week before the fight, yeah. Disappointing. Yeah, that's going to be hilarious. That guy will bring in viewers, no doubt about it. Triller, man. Triller are fucking crazy. David Haye versus Joe Fournier. That's crazy as well. I'll probably watch that, to be honest. Why the fuck not? Yeah, Acosta versus Nakatani. Yeah, that's a great fight. That's a great fight. Again, I've got Nakatani, but Acosta's no scrub. He's no scrub. He's a tough dude. You know, been around, hits hard. That's going to be a good fight. But I think Junto Nakatani is probably the best kept secret in Japan right now in terms of like Western audience. He's a very good fighter. Huge as well for flyweight. Really good fighter. I do rate Nakatani. I done a video on him a little while ago, but I do rate him. And it's good to see him in the US because I can see him actually getting a fan base in the US given his style. You know, how he brings it in the ring. He'll get a fan base if he fights in the US regularly. Oh, Yoka and Milas fights this weekend as well. Yeah, that France card unrivaled is good. You've got Borderleak versus Igor Mikhalkin. That's a good fight. You've got Solomon Sissoko versus... Who's he fighting again? Ilayev, I believe. That's a decent fight. So yeah, that French card's okay, you know. That French card's not too bad. Big up to Crazy D3. By the way, guys, can you hear anything in the background, like as in like media? Because I'm playing something in the background. We're doing a bit of research while we do this live stream. So if you can hear anything, let me know. Because that would be a problem. Donald Trump on commentary is the most random thing I've ever seen recently. That event is just bizarre, yeah. To be honest, though, out of all of the Triller events, I think this is the best one for me personally. I'm interested in watching Evander Holyfield come back against a juiced up fucking TRT Vitor Belfort. David Haye versus a billionaire. What's not to like? What's not to like? Oh yeah, Hrgovic as well this weekend. I'm forgetting a lot, man. I'm forgetting a lot. Yeah, Hrgovic is going to fuck that dude up. No pro footage. Yeah, no footage. I follow the heavyweight division closely, right? And I've not heard of anybody on that dude's resume, that Radzonic guy. I've not heard of anyone on his resume. He's not even fought like Durable Journeyman or anything like that. Yeah, like a European Lovejoy, exactly. Yeah, padded his record. Now he's going to sell it, basically. Haitian Sensation, big up to you, sir, Team AJ. He's rocking with AJ against Usyk. That's going to be a great fight. To be honest, though, I'll be completely honest here. That fight, to me, I've always been excited for. I've always looked forward to it. But the way boxing's been going in the last few weeks... I'll be honest, my excitement's kind of been killed. Maybe when we get to fight week, that's when I'll start getting buzzed again. But right now, I'll be honest, I'm not really feeling it. Boxing at the minute is just, it's treating us rather badly, man. It's treating us rather badly. Like even last weekend, man, that Warrington fight pissed me the fuck off, honestly. It pissed me off so much. And yeah, that's why I've been kind of experimenting with the channel, you know, doing a bit, you know, the way I make content's a little bit different now. In certain videos, at least, I'll just be a lot more critical, a lot more unfiltered, and I've enjoyed it a lot more. That's not going to be every video, but certain videos will call for it, kind of thing. Yeah, Louis Lynn's fighting. Yeah, Louis Lynn, Alex. Yep, that's on Friday. Yeah, Sweet Science. Sorry, Louis Lynn. Yeah. Yeah, Donald Trump has been involved in boxing previously for a long time, actually. So who knows, man? I know he thinks something of boxing, at least. I think he's a fan to some degree. Yeah, he's fought complete unknowns, indeed. What about Holyfield versus David Haye after? Apparently, David Haye's got another fight lined up, and he said it's going to be against like an all-time great kind of thing. So it could be Holyfield. It could be Mike Tyson. Who knows? Big up to PSK. Salute to PSK. AJ's going to knock Usyk the fuck out. You could be right, bro. The only thing I really want in that fight is a down-the-middle type of fight, you know, fair officiating, fair judging. The best man will win. That's all I really hope for, to be honest. Yeah, same. No, he used to like host certain fights, like his venues. He used to host fights, I believe, in the 80s and 90s. I know he was close with Mike Tyson back in the day as well, Donald Trump. Big up to James. Big up to Doughboy as well, MXBC. I've not seen much from you guys recently, the MXBC lads. Are you guys still going strong? I hope so anyway, man. I used to binge watch your content, man, so you guys need to make a comeback. Usyk's bulking up is going to hurt him in the end. Could be right. Who knows? Yeah, boxing really is that whore. Total train wreck, but damn it, the sex is good. We've all been there. We've all been there, Mr. Doc. We've all been there, man. But they're the best kind of girls, man. Shout out to the channel and the YouTube dweebs over at Silicon Valley. Indeed. Indeed. Salute to BG London in the house as well, every single time. Yeah, Donald Trump let Chavez Sr. use his helicopter to get a fight. Yeah, it's going to be a fun fight, man. Hopefully we actually get that fight. The way boxing is at, right now, that fight might fucking fall through. Somebody will break their fucking ankle or get COVID. So I'm not getting too hyped about it yet. Yeah, hey Harrison too, let's get it. Yep, close to 5K. Nearly there, getting there. G-Man, speaking of 5K, my man G-Man, straight out of Ireland, recently hit 5K on his channel. So big up to G-Man every single time. Great channel. Thoroughly deserved. Been very consistent, man. Great content, great dude as well. Big up to G-Man. And also big up to Unrivaled. He himself has a channel, really good channel. So yeah, check out Unrivaled Boxing Talk if you haven't. And also G-Man as well. Great channels. Great channels. There are few people they're like some of the few people on this online shit I could actually have a conversation with outside of it. So yeah, big up to both guys. At this point, Hay should KO both Holyfield and Tyson in devastating fashion. Yeah, I agree. It might do, James. Do you know what, though? I'd watch it. Why the fuck not? Who would you pick between Leharaga and Eggington? It's a hard one, man. Both guys are glass cannons, to be honest. I'd be rooting for Leharaga, but I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm really not sure. That's a coin toss. Okay, cool. That's good to hear, man. Good to hear. But yeah, big up to Doughboy as well. The heavyweight division needs building. Yeah, the heavyweight division right now is fucking shit, honestly. It'll be hilarious if Usyk wins and Wilder wins. That'd be fucking hilarious. Can you imagine? Imagine the tears. Yeah, Usyk has everything against him. If he pulls it off, man, yeah, that's an all-time great win as far as I'm concerned. That'd be a massive win if he could do it. I think he can do it, but, he's got a lot of disadvantages going into that fight, both inside and outside the ring, so we'll see. Joshua on points is 4.33 to 1. I think that's a good bet. That is a good bet, indeed. That is a good bet. Conor Benn gets run over by Florian Marku in the ring. I still want to see that fight. I wouldn't mind seeing it. At least Marku can punch. And as we know, Conor's been dropped. He's been hurt. He can be hit. So that'll be a good fight. I'd actually lean towards Conor Benn, to be honest. But I wouldn't mind seeing that fight next. See, if I was managing Conor Benn in like an ideal world, if I had control, it would be Florian Marku next, followed by Michael McKinson if he beats Marku. And if he beats McKinson, he goes in with Avanesian. That would be my 3-fight plan for Conor Benn. Marku, then McKinson, then Avanesian. Why the fuck not? Yeah, G-Man is he's doing well sexually now. Yeah. They'll rob Usyk even if he wins. Exactly. That's why the points verdict is a good bet. Is it impossible for Usyk to win on points? Not impossible if he drops Joshua a couple of times, something like that. It's not impossible, but I'd say it's highly unlikely. Yeah, Eggington is too small for 154. Now campaigning at 160, he's going to get hurt. I agree. Once he goes in there with the right man, he'll get knocked out. I agree. Boxing's like a fat bird, embarrassing, innit, Del? Yeah, exactly. BG London, exactly. I swear down, yeah. Ever since you guys have done this fat girl meme thing on my channel, every single time I've logged onto Tinder, that's all I fucking match with now. These fat chicks. So you guys have put a hex on me. You fucking cunts. Usyk's got the Dwyer hex working against him. Exactly. The opinion you should follow should be your own. Just consider this to be a second opinion from a complete stranger online. Usyk just needs to pick up a couple of knockdowns to win by the judges. Yeah, exactly. Ben beats Marku but loses to McKinson and Avanesian. I could see that. I think he beats Marku. I think McKinson's an awkward, tough fight, but I think Ben can win, and I think he loses to Avanesian. That could be true as well, PSK. That could be true as well. Yeah, the whole Conor Ben thing right now to me is getting a little bit tedious. Like all these sound bites, heated seats, bruv, Range Rovers and all that. Sounds good, but listen, he's fought a few tough trial horses now, like Samuel Vargas, like Granados, like Formea. Now it's time for him to fight guys in and around his level with a bit of ambition. So guys like Marku, McKinson, I think he'll learn a lot more in those fights, to be honest. Usyk rounds 10 to 12 is 30 to 1. See, that's what I'm saying, Mark. I believe if Usyk stops Joshua, it would be late. If Joshua blows his load kind of thing, gasses out. They got to Carlos, man. Usyk gave Wad the business in sparring. Wouldn't be shocked at all if he can pull it off. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm just trying to not get too excited for it and get disappointed again, because I feel like that's all boxing's been recently, is pure disappointment. Hence why my content's been a bit more, I guess you would say, negative. I've enjoyed it, actually, though. I've enjoyed it. Like the last video, shitting on Tony Bellew is always fun. Things like that. But yeah, I thought I'd spice it up a little bit. I'll be serious and give fighters respect when they deserve it. Like, if I do a prediction video for Joshua Usyk, it'll be serious. There's going to be no, fucking effing and blinding and shit. But there's going to be certain circumstances which need it. And expect a lot more of that in the future. Consider it severance pay. Take the train and get out of Dodge. Oink, oink. Dear. Didn't Akole call out Dwyer post-fight? He did, yeah, after beating Glowacki, yep. Perhaps the algorithm they have for you is that fat chicks are your level. I got that when I was on one particular site, but now I'm married to a size 6 Romanian lady. Well, good for you, Luke. Good for you. Good for you, man. I like thick girls, curvy in the right places, nice big ass, nice titties, but, not fucking obese like you guys paint out. You fucking heathens. I think what it is, you're projecting your own sick desires onto me. That's what I believe anyway. And you're trying to make me your cult leader of fat girl love. That's what I think's happening here. I see right through you guys. I'm not the man to lead you to your fat girl destiny, all right? Brother, when will people understand Conor Ben and McKinson are some scrubs? Marku will literally walk through them. Bro, I love your optimism. I hope we see the fight. So the build-up on this channel will be fucking funny as fuck, because we got some Albanians in here rooting for Marku. We got a few Conor Ben fans as well. It'd be fucking great, man. It'd be fucking great. See, I've really grown to like Florian Marku. I'll be honest. When I first saw him, I thought he was a bit of a gobshite, to be honest. But he's grown on me for whatever reason. He has grown on me, Florian Marku. PBC plus Showtime plus Top Rank should just team up and make sense. It would make sense for boxing. It's not going to happen, though, bro. It's not going to happen. That's a good question. Is Klitschko helping Joshua or Usyk? He'd probably help fucking Joshua, to be honest. Probably wouldn't want Usyk getting his shine. Is AJ actually slimmer this time? Has he dropped the amount of PEDs he's doing? Well, there's PEDs that can make you lose weight, so who the fuck knows? But he's definitely looking slim, or slimmer. That is true. He did get dropped by Ryland from X Factor. Yeah, when is Conor Ben going to fight a top-tier 147-pounder? You'll be waiting a long time, Sergio. They're going to take that real slow with Conor Ben. Eddie doesn't believe what he's selling with Conor Ben. He doesn't believe he's one of the best prospects in the welterweight division. I mean, I don't think Conor Ben's a top 5 prospect in the welterweight division. you'd put Virgil Ortiz and Jaron Ennis above him, no doubt about it. But let's look at a level below that, like someone like Stanionis. Would you be confident in picking Conor Benn to beat Stanionis? I wouldn't. I'd probably pick Stanionis. What about Rashidi Ellis versus Conor Benn? I think Rashidi Ellis would have a good chance against Conor. Butayev, the Russian dude, versus Conor Benn. I think Butayev beats Conor Benn. So I don't think Conor Benn's even a top 5 prospect in the welterweight division, to tell you the truth. And another thing I've seen as well from UK fans is that Conor Benn is already above Josh Kelly. Like, he would smoke Josh Kelly. Based on what? Honestly, based on what? Like, do you think Josh Kelly would lose to Samuel Vargas or Sebastian Formea, Adrian Granados? I don't think so. I think he'll beat those guys comfortably. Would Conor Benn do any better against Ray Robinson than Josh Kelly did? I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced Conor Benn beats Josh Kelly. So why is everyone so convinced that Conor Benn would beat Josh Kelly? I wouldn't mind seeing that fight still. If Josh Kelly can make 147, I wouldn't have a problem with Conor Benn versus Josh Kelly. I don't think it's a foregone conclusion like people are making out. Yeah, the Laughing Egg. I like that name, by the way. Delboy and G-Man, tell Campbell Hatton to stop playing Angry Birds on his iPod and go train. He needs to fucking train, bro. Off topic, your second channel's blown up. Jesus Christ, big up. Yeah, man, it's doing well, bro. It's doing well. We're going to go back to Cartel Land for the next video. Definitely gruesome, especially if you're a man. You're going to fucking cringe kind of thing. But yeah, it's gruesome. Interesting video, though. Interesting video. Big up to Bruce Goes, man, every single time. Disturbed reality, James. Disturbed reality. We all know you like fat girls. Natural grease. Over here, we call them slump busters. Oh, my God. And that's another annoying thing with Tinder as well, yeah. Sometimes you'll match with a girl. This has only happened to me once. But I matched with a girl. She looked okay. But, you know, at the time, I didn't really catch that she was using like certain angles, you know, to flatter herself. And when I saw her, yeah, she had a fucking dump truck ass, like fat, like she was fat. I couldn't, man. I wasn't a cunt. I fucking went on the date and that, and I paid for the shit, but I didn't really talk to her again after. Tinder has never been kind to me. Right now, I have an eye on some chick I get the bus with in the mornings. Average face, but a stunning body. Gonna make a move soon. Yeah, sometimes those are the ones to go for, man. Lube and debt. It's got slower feet, Chisora or Harvey Price. Well, the way Chisora keeps fighting, it's going to be Chisora soon, James. If he takes any more beatings. Is Joyce Parker realistic? I don't think so. It looks like Parker's going to fight Chisora again. But maybe if that fight doesn't happen, it would make sense. Both guys are highly ranked in the WBO, but will Joe Joyce actually risk his Mando spot? I'm not sure. I wouldn't mind seeing it, though. I'll hear it. Derek would fuck Jermaine Franklin up, Adair. He would fuck Jermaine Franklin up. I've seen Jermaine fight a couple of times, and he is no great shakes at all. I think he's poor, to be honest. He's sloppy, doesn't really hit that hard. He's slow as molasses, out of shape. Jermaine Franklin's not that great at all, honestly. I mean, there's a problem when you can't knock out Pavel Sauer, who Huey Fury knocked out in a couple of rounds. Do you know what I mean? Jermaine Franklin sucks. Yeah, that's fair enough, Luke. I kind of feel the same way, to be honest, with Florian Marcoux. I kind of feel the same way. Yeah, he definitely struggled with Ryland Charlton. Is he any good? I like his personality, but don't rate him that highly. I agree. Can Conor Benn beat Broner right now? I would say yes. Broner just doesn't throw punches. And in his last fight, he looked washed. He looked really bad in his last fight. So I think Conor could outwork Broner. Big up to Nordic. Salute to you, sir. I ran into your other channel by accident. Heavy shit, enjoyed, subbed it. Seriously growing fast. Good luck. Yeah, I don't know how it's grown so fast, bro. I got no idea, but pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. Also, yeah, I've been in contact with some fucking interesting people. Like fucking crazy. Like one of the videos I did was about like it's a cartel video where basically they beheaded a father and they basically fucking ripped the son's heart out, all on video. And some dude who I talked to on the in the DMs, he was saying he can get in contact with somebody involved in that video. So who the fuck knows, man? Who the fuck knows? I want to get some interesting interviews on that channel. So I'd love to interview like a cartel sicario, something like that. That'd be fucking amazing. Do you think Lara versus Warrington rematch? Sorry, do you think there'll be a Lara Warrington rematch? I feel sorry for Lara after those headbutts. To be honest, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I think if Team Warrington have anything to say about it, no. I think they'll go a separate way, to be honest. I don't think they want that work again. I think they realised they kind of got away with one. In my opinion. I felt Warrington did his best Andre Ward impression in that fight. Because there was no head clashes in the first fight. Because he took Lara lightly first time around, got squashed. Second time around, he felt the power again. I felt he got nervous, he got worried, and he decided to foul. That's what I think happened. And again, it's not like I've hated on Josh Warrington all of the way through. Like when he was going through his run, beating Selby, Frampton, Galahad, I had nothing but good things to say about Warrington, but I've got to call it how I see it. To me, that looked intentional. You know, intentionally reckless to try and rough Lara up. I don't think his end goal was to make Lara, you know, to cut Lara that bad to the point where it had to be called off. I don't think that was his goal, but I think he realised he could not match Lara physically, so he had to cheat. That's what I think happened in that fight. Big up to Levi every single time. Straight out of NYC. Conor Benn throws punches like a drunk hooligan throwing a brick. His feet are cemented. He windmills too much. Yeah, he was throwing himself off balance a lot against Granados. Ben versus Kelly will be a horrible fight. Conor will swing for the hills, miss, and Kelly will be fainting completely out of range. Yeah. Yeah, Chris Van Heerden would make sense. I wouldn't hate on it. Put it that way. I wouldn't hate on it. Would I really want to see it? Not really, but it's not the worst piece of matchmaking from a prospect point of view. Yes, big up to Mark. Big up to Mark. Fat girls can't take the heat. Skinny girls got more endurance. Yeah. See, I'm going to talk about shit I'll probably get banned for, so I'll leave it alone. Okay, so Nikita Ababi got dropped like a bad habit by DAZN, right into the bin next to Nkosi Solomon. Has he been dropped? Good. Good. I don't rate him at all. Anyone know that chump for YB? I like the YB, man. I find that dude funny as fuck. I don't blame David Hay, man. I'll do the same thing. If some cunt called me out for like a YouTube fight, I'd take it if they paid me right. I don't blame David Hay at all. Yeah, watching Chisora lose is always fun. Yeah, Chisora's going to end up with bad CTE, in my opinion. Yeah, he's taken a lot of beatings, Alex. Not even beatings, but he's been in a lot of hard fights. A lot of hard fights. And eventually that catches up with you. Yeah, well, Levi's saying that he got dropped. I didn't rate him, to be honest. Yeah, I know the YB. I think Chisora still fucks him up. I think Franklin is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Like I think Chris Arreola now still beats Jermaine Franklin. Joyce doesn't want that Tony Yoka work. He's got a long time to wait. You can't fight fighters like Takam forever. I think Joyce would fight Yoka. I think he'd fight Yoka. The problem is you can't really get Yoka out of France. He's on a lot of money in France on his TV contract. So it'll be a challenge to get Yoka out of France to take any real hard fight. I think Tony Yoka's got a bit of time. He's not that old. So Tony Yoka, I think, is going to fight in France, and basically work his way up the rankings, try and be a Mando. I think that's Tony Yoka's plan. Conor Benn looks like Harvey Price. Hang on. He did when he had his face swollen that time, when he had like an allergic reaction. And he looked like Harvey Price. Hang on. Let me try and find it. Oh, shit. Dude, man. Hang on. Let me fucking put this picture up. How do you fucking change this shit? Edit avatar. How do you do this shit? Okay. Take that shit away. Delete that shit. Okay, let's have a look at this cunt. That's when he had an allergic reaction. Yeah, Fury's fighting Dillian in December. Bullshit. Yeah, that's not going to happen, Neil. That's not going to happen. I'm not even sure that Wilder Fury 3 happens, Neil, to be honest. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, Fury and BGS are bullshitters. See, I think the YB just plays a character kind of thing. He knows it's going to get ratings. He knows it's going to get responses. I don't think YB's that serious. I think he's playing a game. Is Conor Benn the most overhyped prospect in world boxing? Who else compares to this crazy hype job? It's hard to think of one who's as hyped. Virgil Ortiz is hyped, but he's not a prospect anymore. He's a contender. Okay, so yeah, so Tony Yoka wanted the fight before they was negotiating. Interesting. Don't start interviewing mass murderers, you nutter. I think it'll be good fun. Yeah, disturbed reality, Neil. Disturbed reality. Oh yeah, Unrivaled shared it as well. Big up to Unrivaled. Yeah, just interview John Fury, Gangland Enforcer. He's done a hit before. Yeah, basically bump of K, yeah. He's going to bring in numbers, Levi. He's going to bring in numbers. Dale, don't you think Warrington was relaxed heading into the fight, like he had something planned? Unusual when his opponent battered him last time. No, I felt he looked serious going into the fight. I felt he looked fine, to be honest. I don't think he looked like any, he looked convincing going into it, what he was saying, how he was talking. But I think what happened was he got in the ring. I felt as soon as he felt that power again, his mind went back to the first fight. Like, Warrington won the first round, don't get me wrong, but I felt his body language looked off in that fight. I felt his body language looked off. And in the second round, Lara started to get to the body. He started to land more power punches. And there was a couple of power punches that literally moved Warrington, like it moved him out of the way kind of thing. He was feeling the heat again. He was feeling the power. I just think Lara's a bad style for him. I just think he's a bad style, honestly. Fuck's sake, Mr. Jones. Yeah, but wasn't that the winning tactic, to either box at range or rough Lara up close? That was Warrington's only tactic to beat him. I didn't see the point of them doing it again. I agree. Like, to me, I've seen that if those guys fought 10 times, Lara wins more than Warrington. If those guys fought 10 times, to me, the style clash just favors Lara. I've seen what I need to see, to be honest. I don't really want to see it a third time. But having said that, if it happened, I'll be excited. So I say that. Yep. Evander Holyfield stepping in. Yeah, he's fighting Vitor Belfort. Yep. I'm not going to tell you, bro. I'm not going to tell you. What do Golovkin and what do Golovkin, Farmer, and Andrade have in common? You tell me. All overpaid by DAZN. Chisora has CTE immunity. Ah, no, BG, man. I would like to see it, but from a matchmaking point of view, I think Porter fucks up Ben. I think it's way too early. Way too early. Way too early, man. But again, if he took that fight, that is ballsy. Put it that way. Let's get Ricardo Mayorga back on the screen. Yeah, to be Mr. Doc, he says, to be fair, Chisora doesn't seem to be slipping mentally. He could be one of those freaks of nature like George Chuvalo. That could happen. Yeah, I mean, look at Jake LaMotta, who died in his mid-90s, late 90s, whatever. He was still sharp as a tack, even at the end. Like I was watching only the other month maybe, like an interview with Jake LaMotta when he was like, he must have been late 80s, early 90s, and he was still like really sharp. Really, really sharp. So some guys just can take more than others. Chisora punches Franklin upside for head in less than 6 rounds. A KO, I agree. It'll be on the zone, Mr. Jones, but yeah, it's a shit fight. Yeah, Joyce is building a decent enough resume, no doubt. Oh yeah, nah. Yeah, he can. Jermaine Franklin's so bad, bro. He's so bad. Yeah, Valdez versus Concial on Friday. We'll see how good Robertson is. Great Olympian, great amateur, won the Olympic gold in 2016. He's quite tall and rangy, quite big for the weight, a lot longer than Oscar Valdez, and he can punch a bit, so be interesting. I think that'll be a fun fight. Conor Benn has 3 fans, his dad, his mum, and his pet hamster. It's Nigel Ben Harvey's real father. Fuck's sake. Oh yeah, Chisora would smash him up, Neil. Alan Babbage is too small for the for like any half decent heavyweight. I mean, you saw him against Mark Bennett. He struggled to get Mark Bennett out of there. So Chisora would fuck Babbage up. Nope. I've never heard of anybody getting a fake beard, Levi. Conor Benn is a man in his own league. Exactly, James. Yeah, the Areola that fought Ruiz would smash Jermaine Franklin. No idea, Max. All I heard was that the WBC, they ordered it, but I've not heard anything since. And how Marcus Brown is getting a title shot, I mean, your guess is as good as mine, Max. I wouldn't be surprised, Luke. Okay, apparently Wilder's left ankle is strapped up. Another delay on the cards, question mark. You could be right. I wouldn't be surprised. I just want to see that fight done now. I want to see it done. I don't give a fuck who wins at this point. As long as we don't see it again, I could care less. Harvey Price had a hissy fit at Chessington World of Adventure 3 months ago and started hitting the log flume and nearly broke it. Oh, dear. Leave Harvey alone, man. Yeah, Fury might go on another pretend retirement, indeed. I don't get why Tyson has so many fans, honestly, Tyson Fury. Like, the term, like, fake profit, like, fits Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury so well. Like, I don't get how so many people can gravitate towards these two individuals. I really don't. Like, how people can look at these guys and really look up to them, and, it's insane to me, honestly. It really is insane. But there you go. That is the battle of false prophets, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. I think Fury, I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure where he's at, I'll be honest. I agree, Levi. I agree. And I agree, armchair warrior. I agree as well. Oh, honest question, because you're over there. Is Connor more overhyped than Eubank Jr.? Obviously, Eubank Jr. now doesn't have the hype he did, but on the come up, I would say it was comparable. To be honest, I'd say about the same level in terms of hype. But I don't think Conor Benn will be as good as Chris Eubank Jr. I know Eubank Jr. is not an elite fighter, but I do think Eubank Jr. is genuinely like a top 10 middleweight, like towards the lower end. I can't really see Conor Benn ever becoming like a top 10 genuine welterweight. I'd say they're about the same though in terms of hype, honestly. Can't argue with that, Luke. Yeah, exactly, Paul. I'm surprised, Matchroom haven't drafted him in as an opponent for Alan Babish. He'll go some rounds, I'll tell you that. I don't rate either guy, Adair. I don't rate either guy. It'd be a close fight, like an MD either way, split decision either way. Fuck's sake. Yeah, Dmitry Kudryashov versus Evgeny Tishchenko this weekend. KO incoming, yeah. Both guys need a win. Tishchenko lost his last fight to Tabisu Machunu, and Kudryashov lost his last fight to Romanov. So both guys need a win. It's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. I don't think so, Levi. If he hurt his ankle, he hurt his ankle. And I mean, he wasn't exactly lying when it comes to Team Canelo. The only thing with Sonny Edwards, he's talking about Canelo and his team being drug cheats, which I agree with. I think they are. But like his roster's like got Tyson Fury. He's close with Billy Joe Saunders, MTK. I mean, Sonny can't really talk, despite him saying what he said is true. I didn't watch the Ebony Bridges one, and I kind of like was skimming through the Katie Taylor one, but boring as fuck. Boring as fuck. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody enjoys watching Katie Taylor fight. That is pure simping. Nobody likes watching her fight. Even guys who like female boxing. Come on now. Harvey 1-round KO. Oh, it's funny you say that, Bump of K. On Twitter, when he was fighting Babic, I said on Twitter, I guarantee you, fucking Mark Bennett's a scaffolder. He looks like one. That is true, Neil. That is true. That is true. But Harvey's doing his thing, man. He's a treasure of a nation. I can't fucking speak. I feel disabled right now. Yeah, exactly. Fury wants to keep his record of never losing, defending a title. Exactly, intact. I was a huge Fury fan until about 2017 when he was just a mess. Yeah, same, Bump of K. I didn't really have a problem with Tyson Fury until the comeback, really. Like, I had no issue with Tyson Fury. Klitschko win was a great win. I felt he was brought up on the come up really well for the most part. Do you know what, Noam? I would probably favour Eubank Jr. against Billy Joe Saunders, believe it or not. I would imagine that fight takes place at 168. I think Eubank Jr. can handle that weight better. I think Eubank Jr. is more committed. And yeah, I've not been impressed with Billy Joe for a long, long time. So if those guys fought in the foreseeable future, I'd probably lean towards Eubank. I'd lean towards Eubank. I don't think Eubank Jr. is as bad as people say, though. Again, he's not a great fighter. I don't think he's like elite, but he's not a terrible fighter. I'd say 2 or 3 rounds, Levi. What's worse, heavyweight or welterweight? They're both as bad as each other, to be honest. But I'll say heavyweight just because it's the flagship division. You know, those guys are supposed to be leading by example. But obviously that's not happening. Big up to you, PSK. Have a good game. It's a decent fight, Jared. It's a decent fight. It's competitive. I actually think Michael Conlan might beat him. I think he might win. Yeah, that's going to be some good entertainment, Levi. Yeah, Team Reynoso. Yeah, they're a fucking pharmacy indeed. Yeah, Fury fanboys would crawl over broken glass to hear him fart down the phone. AJ is overhyped, but at least most of his fans seem to accept has to improve at certain things. Fury is a god to his choir, yeah. And Joshua fans, don't get me wrong, there are some real rampant Joshua fans, and to the point where they're creepy. But I feel like there's more Tyson Fury fans who are like that kind of thing, and obviously Wilder fans just take the cake as like the worst. But I'm really past caring about all three of those guys, to be honest. I could care less. I take Joyce on points. Joe Joyce on points. Jay's boxing universe. I think Parker these days he's kind of got one foot out of the door, in my opinion. Levi's always on a roll, man. Yeah, the only genuine world-class fighter Fury's beaten is Klitschko. Del Boy may simp and pretend to like women's boxing for an evening to get it in, but only one evening, exactly, yeah. Exactly. And I'll be honest, yeah, I don't think there's there's not even many attractive female boxers, in my opinion. Yeah, I can imagine Canelo hooked up to big vats with tubes of juice getting pumped into his veins, yeah. Never heard of him, Levi. Never heard of him. Taylor Machine Gun Duer. Okay. Do you think Eubank Jr. is good enough to beat Plant? I think that's a terrible style fight for him. I think he would have a chance. I think Eubank could beat Plant. He could beat Plant. I'm not saying he would, but he would have a chance. He would have a chance. I mean, Porky Medina, if you look at their fight, when Plant fought Medina, Plant boxed well in the first sort of few 8-9 rounds, but towards the end he gassed badly, man, and got touched up. Even at Skatigi, Plant started that fight really well, man. But look at the second half of that fight. Plant was getting touched up a lot, man. I don't think Plant's that great at all. I really don't. I don't think Plant's footwork is all that great. He puts himself in a lot of positions in which he's at risk. He lays on the ropes too much. Sometimes he's too static. I don't like that side-on profile out of that shoulder roll. He's open for the overhand. I think Eubank would have a chance against Caleb Plant. I actually quite like that fight, to be honest. Big up to Assad. Anyone know about Border Leak or his opponent, McAlkin? Yes, McAlkin, yeah. Yeah, McAlkin fought Kovalev back in the day. He got stopped. He's like a good European-level fighter. And Border Leak used to be a good amateur. I think he went to the Olympics one year for France. So it's a decent European title fight. Oh, Christ. We have him in the chat. The main man. Big up to Harvey. Joe Joyce is the next top heavyweight, in my opinion. Just a matter of how long it takes to get his title shot. Yeah, a lot of guys are sold on Joe Joyce. I like his style, man. That's one thing I can say. There's not much not to like about Joe Joyce. He's quite humble. He's down to earth. He's got a good style to watch. Eubank Jr. legit competes against world champions and gives them a tough time, but Conor Benn is nowhere near that and never will be. I agree. He gave Billy Joe a hard fight. It was actually quite a close fight, in my opinion. And he gave George Groves a pretty hard fight. Not in terms of points, but physically he gave George Groves a hard fight. Yeah, Plant would simp for the LDVC. Yeah, Caleb Plant is a cornball, man, honestly. I've heard this, Jay's Boxing Universe. I keep on hearing this, that the PBC are kind of in hot water with Fox, but I've not really seen it properly confirmed by any real credible sources. I saw that. You know what P. Diddy's like. Yeah, Devin Haney might have been inducted, yeah. And I think he took that picture off his profile as well, Devin Haney. Yeah, a lot of British casuals must get most of their information from Eddie Hearn interviews, exactly. Is Joe Joyce my father? God. Oh, shit. Shit. If he is, you should become a boxer, bro. Yeah, the only thing worrying about Joyce is that he's already on the wrong side of 35. That's the problem with Joe. The only thing is, though, with Joe, he started boxing late, like at 22 years old. So, in terms of mileage, he's not got any on the clock. But obviously, age is age. You know, he's going to slow down. Hopefully, we see Joe Joyce at the highest level, at his best, and we'll see what he has. Hopefully, he doesn't have to wait for too long. Yeah, he is too easy to hit still. That is true. Yeah, me too. Me too, Nordic. Me too. I was impressed with Joe that night. Boxed a really, really good fight, really smart fight, and that showed he can really adjust to different opponents. Sometimes he'll just basically barge you down and walk you down and beat you up. But in that fight, he was more circumspect, boxed behind the jab, maintained range, and when he done a really good job. Really good job. Yeah, I saw that. I heard that, Levi. I've not seen it, but I heard that, yeah. Hassan Wankinio smoked Julius Ndongo last weekend. Easy KO win to the body. Yeah, they could get dropped. Yeah, they're getting more money from WWE than PBC, yeah. Never heard of him, Levi. If he's any good, he could beat Kerman Leharaga. Joyce versus Parker, the slowest versus the fastest in the division. Yeah, Parker's got a significant hand speed advantage on Joe Joyce. But one thing about Joe Joyce that people don't really give him credit for, Joe's actually got quite quick feet. He moves his feet quickly. Joe Joyce. It's his hands that are slow, but his feet are not. Joe can cover distance really quickly and really efficiently as well, and he can go backwards quickly as well. So Joe's feet are pretty quick, man. I rate Joyce. I really believe he has autism. So what he's doing now is admirable. Fuck's sake. Oh dear. Saw Enzo Macronelli in Bridges' corner in Leeds. Enzo took more brutal KO defeats than anyone ever possibly. Heard him interviewed. Clear signs of CTE. I just think he's got that thick sort of Welsh accent. He's always kind of sounded like that. Enzo. He's always sounded like that. Yeah, Enzo is a nice guy, but I think he's okay. I just think it's that Welsh accent, that real strong Welsh accent. Dustin Long back this weekend in Tennessee, the guy who KO'd Marcellus Wilder. Yeah, the David Hay knockout was savage. As was the he got knocked out by that German dude, Alexander Frankel. That was brutal as well. Afolabi as well. That was savage. Who else knocked out Enzo? Lebedev knocked out Enzo. Dmitry Kucha knocked out Enzo. A lot of guys knocked out Enzo. Oh, yeah, I've got no idea, Neil. No idea. He's not beat anybody credible since Bryant Jennings. As Nordic said, he's not had a credible win in years. Yeah, I don't know how that guy's top 10. And he ducked Filip Pergovic as well, let's not forget. So that's embarrassing. Dustin Long, the one who crip walked over Wilder. Oh shit. Enzo did knock out Roy Jones. He did, yeah. That's a savage knockout in itself. How do people think Joyce Parker goes at the moment? I'm leaning towards Parker. I'd say Joe Joyce on points. I don't think Parker does enough. I think Parker will be fighting to survive more so than anything. But yeah, I'd say Joyce on points. He basically is, yeah. He's like a better version of Price at cruiserweight. Yeah, basically like a proper glass cannon. Like he had power himself. He could knock guys out and hurt them, but he had a bad fucking chin, Enzo. And when he got knocked out, it always looked so bad. Like his head was a fucking crazy, man. Yeah, that was fucking hilarious, BG London, that helmet. He needs to bring it out again, man. He needs to bring it out again. Look, fucking Luis Ortiz, Kubrat Pulev makes sense. I guess so. I wouldn't. I would watch it. I'd watch it. I genuinely hate Joe Parker. The way he fights makes my blood pressure rise. Yeah, I used to be quite high on Parker on the come up when he was like icing people. He looked really good, but when he stepped up to world level, he doesn't have that dog in him. He just doesn't have that dog. He's got great attributes, great chin, good hand speed, solid boxing ability, okay power. He's got great attributes, but he's just not got that mental side down, in my opinion. Like most heavyweights would kill to have Joseph Parker's chin. He's got a great chin, really good chin, but yeah, he should have. I'm a juggernaut, bitch. Yeah. Oh dear. I like Joe, man. I like Joe. Homemade helmet cake. Yeah, I used to rate Parker, but these days when he rocks the dude, he stops and I swear he asks, "Are you okay, bro?" Yeah. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, he seems too nice to be a boxer, kind of thing. Joe Parker. Yeah, that's okay. Jesse Hart should win. Levi. Mike Guy's a good journeyman, tough dude. He can survive, but Joe Joyce cannot do it against good movers. For example, Tyson Fury easily beats him, as does Usyk. Joe Joyce will easily beat the slower heavyweights who look for power punches. Dubois was made for him. Yeah, you could be right. Yeah, Parker hitting Joyce would be like one of your nightmares where your punches are landing but doing zero damage. Yeah. Exactly, crazy. Yeah, I agree. But even before then, I felt Parker was showing signs that he wasn't developing as a fighter. Like the Huey Fury fight, he wasn't impressive. I felt he won that fight, but he didn't look good. And the fight after that was against Razvan Kajanu, and he looked awful in that fight. Absolutely awful. So I think the writing's been on the wall for Parker for quite some time. I just wonder whether he's just fell out of love with boxing and he's just really sticking around to make some extra money. I agree. Hang on 1 second. I agree, Adair. Daniel Dubois versus Bryant Jennings or Jonathan Rice would be a good test for him. I agree. I totally agree. Yeah, I saw that, Steve. I watched some of that. Yeah, Fury still doesn't look in good shape on his overlap interview with Gary Neville. I'm still not sure Fury won't be made franchise or emeritus champion. Just seems strange we haven't seen no camp footage. Yeah. Again, I still don't trust that fight happens, Steve. I don't trust that fight happens, to be honest. Yeah, I saw that, Levi. Not interested. Yeah, Parker just lacks that finisher instinct. Happy just to jab and move all night. Exactly, yeah. If he can nick a fight on points, happy days, but he just really wants to go the distance, yeah, and survive. Parker and Wilder fraud champions. I mean, you could make the argument. Having said that, though, people act like Tyson Fury's belts were stolen from him. It's not really the case, to be honest. He gave 2 up, and he fucked the IBF by signing a rematch clause when Amando was due. I mean, it was his fault he lost those titles, so other guys had to fight for him. So, it is what it is. I don't think you can hold that against Parker. Yeah, Parker was more interested in selling meth. Yeah, that's another thing, Neil. I don't find Tyson Fury all that enthralling to watch. Yeah, the Wilder second fight was a good performance, and I enjoyed that. But for the most part, Tyson's quite boring to watch. Let's be honest. Okay, so apparently the Gary Neville interview was months ago. Steve saying it was 2 weeks ago. Who knows when it was filmed? Who knows? Who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? When is Makhmudov fighting? It seems like the big promoters are freezing him out unless he signs with one of the major ones. Yeah, he's fighting. He's fighting relatively soon. He's fighting the fat Turkish dude. What's his name? Erkan Tepe. That's who he's fighting. I'll tell you when. 23rd of September, so not too long away. Yeah, he's fighting in Canada against Erkan Tepe, which isn't too bad. Dale, any underdogs you can see winning in fights coming up? I think Wilder's always got a chance against Tyson Fury. You just can't count on Tyson Fury mentally. So Wilder's always got a chance, I guess. I can't really think of fights happening, bro. I can't lie. Usyk's got a chance against Joshua because he's technically the underdog. So you'd look at those fights. Fucking hell. Trying to think. I would say, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you, Assad. I agree with Roy Keane. So do I. BG London. So do I. He's a clown. Gnome. I swear nobody else on stage was wearing one either. I think he could beat Galahad again, Armchair. I do believe he could beat Galahad again. Warrington. I don't think he should have got rid of that title in the first place. I really don't. I really don't. Nah. Lee Wood is not that great, in my opinion. I think he got lucky by fighting an average world champion or regular champion in Kanzu. I think all of the other elite guys beat him. I think Galahad beats Lee Wood. I think Warrington does. Navarrete does. Gary Russell does. Maurizio Lara does. I think all of these guys beat Lee Wood. Again, I'm not discounting what Lee Wood did. It was a great win, but I don't think he's true world class. I really don't. But yeah, this weekend is a bit better than I first anticipated. There's a few fights to look out for. Hrgovic is returning on Friday in Austria, of all places. Dalton Smith is on the undercard as well. Really good prospect. Apparently, John Ryder's on the undercard, but I can't see him. I can't see that he's got a fight scheduled. Yeah, I think it makes sense, Nordic. I think it makes sense. Wouldn't be a great... Who knows, though? The first fight was horrible, but doesn't necessarily mean the second fight's going to be bad. if Galahad fights the same way he fought Jazza Dickens, I think it could actually be a good fight, to be honest. But it's up to Galahad to make it a fight, kind of thing. It's up to Galahad to make it a fight. So I wouldn't hold my breath on it being a good fight, but I mean, I think it makes sense though. I think it makes sense. Yeah, that's a great fight. Nordic's going to be all over that one. Tischenko versus Kudryashov. That's a great fight at cruiserweight. As I said, both guys need a win. Yeah, like Colin said, Tischenko really needs to get Kudryashov out of there. He shot at 200. I hope Kudryashov brings out the Philly. Shell again, laugh out loud. That was Vance against Romanov. Yeah, actually, listen, he lost against Romanov, but he done a lot better than I thought he would. He did a lot better than I thought he would. That's going to be a brutal fight because Tischenko can punch. He lost his last fight, obviously, against Machunu, but Machunu's always been underrated. He can really box. He's really awkward. Kudryashov's going to be there for him to hit, so that's going to be interesting. Is Kudryashov going to get there first, or will Tischenko? That's going to be a great fucking fight. If I can find a stream, I'll watch that fight. That's true as well, yeah. Yeah, Kudryashov at that weight probably was taking punches better. That's true, Colin. Yeah, me too, Nordic. I was saying before that fight, it's going to be a great fucking fight, but somebody's going to get knocked out. It was a great fight, but nobody got knocked out. I was shocked. And by the way, yeah, Kudryashov is fighting in like this weekend. He last fought in May at 225. That's quite a short time period to cut all that weight. So he might be drained, to be honest. He might get knocked out quick, coming to think of it. I'll go Tischenko by knockout early. But I hope Kudryashov wins. How can you not like Kudryashov? That guy's a fucking banger. Fucking banger. You know you're going to get entertainment when Kudryashov fights. And by the way, lads, if you could smash the like, it would be much appreciated. It would be much appreciated. I'm trying to do research in the background, man, but I can't find shit on what I want to find. Exactly, yeah. I agree, Colin. Yeah. That could be the difference maker. That could be the difference maker. At Bridgerweight, it would be more interesting, maybe. By the way, Del, I can hook you up if it's on Russian TV. Do you follow me on Twitter, Colin, by any chance? Do you follow me on Twitter? I'm not sure how you can let me know, or do you? But yeah, if you could, bro, it would be appreciated because I really want to see that fight. Exactly, Nordic man. It's not all about like watching world-class fighters and just the elite of the elite. You can get good fights across all levels, man. And Kudryashov is a guy, if I can help it, I'll never miss, kind of thing. Okay, cool. You'll slip into the DMs. Awesome stuff. I need to get one of those fucking what are they called? The fire sticks, where you can you pay for the fire stick thing, and I think you pay for installation, and you basically can watch everything, kind of thing, from across the world. I need to get one of them. The only thing I'm kind of wary of though is how reliable are they? Do they buffer? Do they fail a lot? I can hook you up with a fire stick too. How reliable are they, Colin? Oh, you made another Twitter, Nordic. Follow me, man. Follow me, or let me know what your username is. I'll drop you a follow. But yeah, Twitter is cancer, man. I just like to. I don't really take Twitter seriously. I just kind of troll now and again on Twitter, some bullshit comments. Twitter is not to be taken seriously, honestly. Oh, these clowns still talking about. I'm looking at Twitter now, and all it is fucking Wilder Fury, Joshua Fury, all this talk over and over again. Apparently, though, everyone's favourite bald shill journalist in boxing, Mike Coppinger, he has announced that Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos Jr. is now officially set for October the 4th on Monday at New York's Hulu Theatre at MSG. Both fighters have signed their contracts. Okie dokie. So, yeah, Teofimo Lopez versus George Kambosos on the 4th of October in New York. Hopefully that fight actually happens and we get it out of the way. So we see where Teofimo's going next. That's another thing, man. That whole saga, absolute joke. Oh, you're fucking funny, man. Oh, you follow me already? There you go. Follow you. Boom. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit. Okay, so 85 to 90% reliable. Not great for the big pay-per-views, I found. Okay. Yeah, I've got the zone at the minute, BG London. I do have the zone at the minute. Obviously, the price has gone up, but I think with existing subscribers, I think the price raise happens in November. I think people who are subscribed already get a period of grace kind of thing. When it goes up, I might cancel. I don't know yet. We'll see. So it's only £7, but it's the principle. I just don't like, at the same time, I don't like fucking, having to look for streams all the time. It's nice to see some fights that are reliable, because I don't really pay for much these days when it comes to boxing. I don't really pay for much. It's fucking Evander Holyfield training footage got released. What's he looking like? He looks old as fuck, man. Look at this guy. Decrepit. Oh no, he's... I might watch that this weekend. If I'm up, I might watch this Evander Holyfield exhibition. Why not? Why the fuck not? He still looks good though in terms of his shape and whatnot. Evander Holyfield, he's kept himself in good nick. Definitely. Yeah, Evander had so much juice. Yep. Yeah, nothing is worth paying for. Exactly. So the only time I really pay for pay-per-views now is when I watch pay-per-views with friends. Like we'll get together and kind of buy the pay-per-view and get a few beers in, get some takeaways in. That's really the only time I contribute towards a pay-per-view these days. I forgot the last time I purchased a pay-per-view for myself. It was I think it was Josh Taylor Prograis. I think that was the last pay-per-view I bought for myself, like watching it on my own kind of thing. I'm pretty sure. I know I purchased Spence versus Brook, and I purchased Usyk Kassiev as well. But I've not really bought many in recent times. Yeah, I see that, Nordic. I see that. See, Evander was fighting when Trump was involved in boxing, so that's going to be hilarious. Exactly, BG London. See, for whatever reason, this upcoming Triller card, I actually kind of want to see, to be honest. Vitor Belfort versus Evander Holyfield, that'll be good fun. And David Haye versus Joe Fournier. What's not to like? And the scary thing is, yeah, those fights will they'll probably be more real than regular boxing. Yeah, 2021's been a shit year for boxing. The year of the farce. Also, did you see that Joshua Usyk is £25? So much for the one-off £25. Yeah, exactly. They said that with with the second Ruiz fight, didn't they? Oh, this is a one-off, blah, blah, blah. Obviously not the case. Not the case. But, this could be Joshua's last Sky pay-per-view, so I guess they're going to just cash in for what they can. Doesn't surprise me. But, we'll see what Joshua does next. If I was Joshua, man, I would stay on Sky Sports. Fuck going to the Zone. If I was Joshua, I'd fuck Eddie Hearn off. Fuck the Zone off and just sign with Sky. Be my own boss. It could be a massacre, Nordic. I hope it is. I hope it is, man. As a kid, I was a big David Haye fan. So, even though as I grew older, David Haye's practices kind of irked me, as nostalgia in me would always kind of have a fond place for David Haye. So I hope he wins. It really wound me up when Tony Bellew beat David Haye. It really fucking pissed me off. So for fucking Joe Fournier to beat him would be a fucking nail in the coffin. My ticket was 60 for fuck's sake. 25 quid to watch Campbell Hatton laugh out loud. Yeah, I agree, Nordic. Yeah, if Haye's serious, yeah. Fournier's in for a real shock, yeah. And he'll get knocked out. Yeah, he's a prick, isn't he? Fournier. Exactly, Colin. AJ's got such a strong hand. I reckon Sky will offer him a barrel load of money to take it, yeah. Because DAZN don't have that nationwide appeal like Sky does. Sky have got the built-in audience. They know they're going to do good business with AJ. AJ going to DAZN, yeah, it's going to attract some people to DAZN, but I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling Joshua's going to re-sign with Sky. Yeah, it was. I think it was Steve. Fuck it. When we had shit heavyweights, Haye plugged. Haye had balls and was a monster cruiser. Yeah, Haye was definitely a very good cruiserweight. In retrospect, I kind of wish David Haye stuck around at cruiserweight a lot longer. There were some really good fights for him. Thomas Adamek, Steve Cunningham, Krzysztof Wlodarczyk, Denis Lebedev. There would have been some really good fights for him. And many of those fights would be winnable for David Haye at cruiserweight. Not saying he'd have an easy time, but they would be winnable. Yeah, exactly, Colin. Yeah, I think the Top Rank link up is good though. I think the Top Rank link up is good. Yeah, Lebedev versus Haye would have been great. Weirdly though, I think David Haye. I think David Haye might have struggled with Steve Cunningham the most, and maybe Thomas Adamek, because Lebedev would have been there to be hit more so. Adamek could be elusive. He was a really underrated boxer, and Steve Cunningham was a good boxer as well. I think David Haye would have definitely beat Wlodarczyk. I think he would have knocked him out. Thomas Adamek and Steve Cunningham would be hard fights. Lebedev could chin him if he gets through the first few rounds, but I think Haye's got the power to chin Lebedev. There'd be some great fights. Exactly. Can you imagine, Nordic? Prime David Haye versus the likes of Gassiev and Briedis. Yeah, Gassiev and Briedis, yeah. Yeah, so I know it's AJ's last fight with Sky, but I'm not sure whether it's his last fight with Matchroom. I'm not sure about that. But it's definitely his last fight with Sky. That's going to be interesting to see where he re-signs with. If Sky can get Joshua again, that would definitely be big for their profile and their status in boxing. Oh, David Haye, Marco Huck. That's a great fight as well. See, I think David Haye would have beaten Marco Huck, but Marco Huck, man, was a tough fighter. When Marco was on form, he was a real hard guy to beat. He used to fight in bursts. He had really good ring IQ in terms of he's one of those guys who had a built-in clock in his head. He knew exactly where he was in a round, and when to work, when not to work. Marco Hook, not the most pleasant to watch sometimes, but he was very intelligent. Marco Hook, very intelligent. It could happen though, Levi. At that age, it could happen. Yeah, Cunningham was a great boxer with a dodgy chin. I'd see him outboxing Hay and getting dropped a few times. Yeah, I could see that. Nordic, I could see that. See, Cunningham's fights with Wlodarczyk were great, man. I never saw it, Levi, but I heard Hook looked like shit. Yeah, Peacock was just tough and fundamentally sound. Lebedev still beat him, though. Yeah, I felt Lebedev beat Marco Hook and got jobbed. Yeah, I felt Lebedev won that fight. But I felt Marco Hook beat Povetkin, though, at heavyweight. I felt he outworked Povetkin. That was a great fucking fight, you know. Huck versus Povetkin. I think that was on Box Nation back in the day. That was a great fight. Really good fight. What? There were some good fights back then, man, in and around cruiserweight and heavyweight. There were some good fights back then, like the early 2010s. Some really good fights. One of my favorite fights of all time was Lebedev versus Guillermo Jones, man. That was a great fight. And we could have had the rematch as well. The rematch was set and we was on fight week and Guillermo Jones tested positive for a PED, so it got cancelled. But we should have had a rematch with Lebedev and Jones. Yeah, I remember that fight well on Channel 5. Yeah. Way back in the day. Way back in the day. Yeah, exactly. Eddie needs Joshua more than Joshua needs Eddie. Go to the PBC or be a free agent or on a fight-by-fight basis. Yeah. Yeah, they're scrambling for position. BG, they're scrambling for position. They know in the UK Joshua's the franchise player. Adam Smith would delete all of his hard drive to get Joshua on Sky. Like he would delete thousands of hours of content to get Joshua on Sky. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, exactly, Colin. Yeah, Marco Hook now is shit at heavyweight. Yeah, he'll get knocked out. Okay, reckon Arthur's going to leave Warren? Been hearing grumbles. Yeah, I mean, Yard. That's another fight. Yard versus Arthur too. That fell through, apparently due to financial disputes. I'm not sure on whose side, whether it's Yard or Arthur, but I think Arthur feels hard done by. You know, he beat Yard or got the decision, and he's still kind of second fiddle. Adam Smith and his dodgy videos. Man, it's fucking hot here, man. It's so fucking hot. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. We've been going for an hour and 23 minutes, which isn't too bad. So, yeah, we'll wrap this one up. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I might stream towards the end of the week, something like that. We'll see. We'll see what comes up. But, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Have a good rest of the week. And, yeah, man, peace, guys. Peace.